Hello and welcome to Let's Talk. I'm your host, Brittany Freeman. I've been gone for too long and I thought it was time to bring it back to Merrimack TV. Today I'm joined by Miss Emily Curtis. As you can see, she loves bling and she's Miss Merrimack's outstanding teen. Welcome, Emily. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So, can you tell me a little bit? Did you win the lottery or how did you acquire this bling?
Well, I've been competing in the Miss New Hampshire's Outstanding Teen program for about 4 years, and this is my last year. And so with my final year, I was able to represent my hometown with the local title of Miss Merrimack's Outstanding Teen.
Now, you are from Merrimack.
Yes.
You are 17 years old.
Yep.
And a junior right here at Merrimack High School.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So how was it being from Merrimack and winning Miss Merrimack?
It was really fantastic. There was so much support in the community, and it was really great to really connect with the community for my year.
Well, a lot of people don't know that oftentimes girls will win local titles and they're not actually from that town. So you didn't have to be from Merrimack to win Miss Merrimack. So we were absolutely thrilled that a girl from Merrimack won Miss Merrimack. So for people that don't know about pageantry, they think, okay, she showed up, she won a crown, she's happy, yay! There's a little bit more about this organization than just getting a crown. Could you maybe tell people about the organization and why you chose it?
Of course. Well, I first got involved with the program through dance because there is a talent portion. But through the years of being involved, it's become so much more than that. It's a scholarship program. They give out so much money in scholarships each year. And there's also, you have a private interview, fitness, and then evening wear and onstage questions. So there's a lot to it other than just walking around in a pretty dress.
So you won the title, and then there was the state competition, Miss New Hampshire's Outstanding Teen. And can you tell me a little bit about that?
It was absolutely fantastic. This was my 4th time at state, and I made the top 10, which was so fantastic. And I also won Miss Congeniality, which meant so much because it's an award that's voted on by all your fellow contestants. So that was just absolutely amazing to get that award. And I know I look back on those nights of competition and I feel like those were some of my best dance performances, and it was just fantastic.
Now, you said Miss Congeniality, so if anyone's watching, have you ever seen the movie Miss Congeniality?
Of course.
Okay, so,
of course.
So a lot of people, if they don't know about pageantry, they could think they've seen Miss Congeniality and that's what it's all about. Now, if people have seen that movie, is that the same thing that you do?
Oh, definitely not. There is so much to it. And I mean, I feel like the sisterhood sort of look at it from that movie is sort of accurate in some ways because we do all become very close. But, you know, some of the girls in that movie come off like airheads. And, you know, the girls who are competing in this program are scholastically involved, and they all have to be able to sit through a 6-minute interview, not knowing what the judges are going to ask, and be able to be on their toes and answer any question.
And you did mention scholastic, so I believe, isn't there an actual phase of competition for the scholastics?
Yes, there is. I believe it is 10% of your score is based off of your transcripts.
So you can't just be a pretty face.
Exactly.
You have to know your stuff. You did say that you're aging out now, so you will no longer be competing in the Outstanding Teen pageant. Now you'll be competing in Miss New Hampshire, and that winner goes, if you win Miss New Hampshire, you go on to Miss America, which many people have heard of Miss America before. So what are you excited about now that you're moving on to as a Miss?
I'm excited about the whole transition. You're in the big leagues now, and to be thinking that you're in the same category as Miss America is just crazy. And you know, you have to take a leap of maturity, essentially, is the way I'm looking at it, because you're with girls who are so much older than you and have so much more experience. So I'm just really excited for the challenge and to start making a lot of scholarship money.
I think the age range is around 17 to 24.
Yes.
Isn't it? So that can be a big difference. You have girls that are seniors in high school that are competing all the way up to 24, which they could already be in graduate school, graduated, like all of that. So there's quite a bit of a difference there. Is there anything that you're nervous about going on to this next level?
You know, I've been really looking at it. I just feel really ready. Of course, I'm nervous. The interview is now 10 minutes long, and then there's the swimsuit competition, which I think everybody is a little bit nervous for their first time. But, you know, the first one or two you do, you get over that nerve, and you just start doing what you are used to do.
Well, I think interview will be a piece of cake because you're doing great so far.
I hope so.
Now, something that I wanted to talk to you about, I'll let you talk about it more, but the event that you're going to be attending this summer in Washington, D.C.
Yes. I will be attending the National Student Leadership Conference on Political Action and Public Policy. I'm so excited. I will be on campus at American University for a week learning about different things that have to do with politics and government, and I'm so excited.
Now, I know that you had attended a conference last year. Is this something different or is it the same?
It is through the same organization. Last year, I went to the high school presidential inaugural conference, and that was 4 days long and some of the best days of my life. It was so much fun. I met so many people from all around the country and even a couple people from outside of the country. And it's just a lot of fun to meet people who are interested in the same things you are and come from all over the place. So I'm very excited.
And on that note, tell people what your aspirations are as a career path.
Well, I am a little indecisive, but I know I want to go to college in the Washington, D.C. area, and I want to major in either political science or international relations. So I have a lot of years of school coming up. So
it's all worth
yes.
it, though. Tell us a little bit what you do in your free time. When you're outside of school, what do you do?
I dance a lot. I dance 4 days a week for around 10 hours or so each week, and we do so many different performances. We have a recital coming up, and it's a lot of hard work, but you know, the studio is my second home. My second family's there. Everyone's there, so it's a lot of fun. I'm also on student council at school and the National Honor Society, and I am also a big sister in Big Brothers Big Sisters.
And then you also do a little bit of teaching as
yes,
well.
I do. At the dance studio, I help with 3 beginner classes, 2 ballet and 1 tap. And it's so much fun. It's so cool to see them grow up, especially when you start with someone who was 5 or 6 when you started teaching them and watching them as they're 11, 12 now. It's crazy.
Yes, time sure does fly by. Also with the teaching, you also help teach dancing to ice skaters sometimes. So how is that? Because I know you ice skated a little bit when you were younger. So how is that teaching dance to people that aren't necessarily trained dancers their whole life? They're athletes, which dancers are athletes too, but it's a different form. You know, they're figure skaters and they come off the ice and then they dance with you. How is that?
It's definitely very different than teaching in a studio, because when you're in the studio, you're with girls who are learning. You need to point your toes all the time. You always need to turn out, and just little things like that ice skaters don't necessarily realize. I mean, it's kind of hard to point your toe when you're wearing an ice skating boot. So when they think they're pointing their toe, they might not be. So sometimes it's really just breaking down the simple things that can be a challenge, but it's really great to see it when they finally get it.
That's very true. And then the class that you teach with the ice skaters, she actually helps me because I have a dance class weekly for figure skaters. So when I'm not around you definitely help me with that. And I heard you say that you are involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yes.
Tell me about that organization and how you're involved.
Well, it has since become my platform. And basically, through the process of becoming a big sister, you fill out paperwork and you have an interview, and then they start the matching process. And so I started volunteering in September, and I got to meet my little sister, Lacey. She is absolutely adorable. She is 9 years old and a little ball of energy, let me tell you. And every time I get to go visit her, she's just always has such a big smile on her face and has so much energy, and she's just so much fun to be around, and I see so much of who I was at her age in her.
Well, it's great that she has a role model like you to look up to. Now, if I say the word Walt Disney World, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the time that I danced at Walt Disney World. Last April, my studio went to Disney World to perform, and that was such an incredible experience to be able to perform on such a well-known venue. And also through the process of getting ready for that, I feel like we all just got so much closer with each other, and it was so much fun. And then so the day we performed, we were all together, and then even afterwards going to the parks, we were always together. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I remember because I got to attend as well, and Miss Belinda and I had such a great time preparing you girls for it, but it's really the experience because getting to perform for 25 minutes at downtown Disney, that was pretty exciting. But then on another note, like, we got to meet up at the Magic Kingdom and all of that. And then afterwards I saw on Facebook and everything pictures of It's a Small World, you're an Arabesque or Passes and all these dance moves. So it's actually really funny. It would almost be fun to put like an album together or something with all the different dance moves that you can do around the parks all at Disney World. So if we go back, I think that might be a fun thing to do. How much dance can you incorporate? I remember seeing with some of the girls, I think it might have been at your hotel or something where you were at the basketball courts or different things, just doing
different things with the basketball,
showing how you can incorporate ballet into that. Kind of now some different questions. If you can think about everything that you've done, what do you think your biggest accomplishment thus far in your life has been? Your whole 17 years.
Gosh, that is a tough one. Well, I would have to say just over this past year, I've really grown up a lot, and I've just learned that you have to take every opportunity. And although that isn't any one specific accomplishment, I think coming to that point of you need to take every chance that you get and live life to the fullest, because you only got one shot, so you got to just live life to the fullest. And so that's kind of a weird one, but
if you had to pick one accomplishment, you have to pick one. Putting you on the spot, you've accomplished so much.
I know,
you really can't go wrong.
Yeah,
it's hard choosing because there's been quite a few. Which one's been your favorite?
Here's a good one. All right. This past year in the Nutcracker, I did get to perform as the Dewdrop Fairy, where dance has been such a huge part of my life. That was just such an incredible moment to be able to be like, yes, it's all paying off, and to have like a lead role like that was just really fantastic. And then I also got to understudy Sugar Plum, which was really fantastic to get to perform it during that one show. So a lot of dance-related things.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. When something is a passion of yours, it's a big part of your life. Now, were you a lamb when you were little?
Yes.
So, for those of you that aren't as familiar with the Nutcracker, we'll have the little lambs, which usually around the 3-4-year-olds, and then they'll be on stage with some of the bigger dancers. And a lot of times, the lambs that we've had throughout the years have graduated from high school. So they start off as lambs. I have girls that have now graduated that were one of my lambs, which ages me way too much. But it's so funny because you start off as one of those little girls, one of the youngest roles in the show, and now you're going to be a senior next year and you need to be one of the lead roles.
Exactly.
Has got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, especially with the teaching and seeing the girls being so young and teaching them the dances that I remember doing when I was their age. It's crazy.
Well, Emily has this great memory that if you go through any of her recital tapes, it doesn't even have to be her dances. She probably knows the choreography to almost every dance throughout the years.
Probably. We always joke around like a costume or a song will come up and people will be like, oh, what year was that? What did that costume look like? And I chime right up and I know exactly what year, what number it was in the show, who was in it, just everything.
If we ever counted how many times you've watched the videos, it's probably a pretty high count.
It's probably ridiculous.
Do you still watch them?
Every now and then. I don't have quite as much free time as I used to, but when I do get the chance, I will watch them.
Now, with political science, we were talking about school, journalism, all of that. If you could interview one person in the world, who would it be and why?
I would have to say, that's another hard question because there's so many people to choose from.
But with journalism, that's the great thing is you get to interview a lot of people. So who's one person?
I mean, my gut instinct goes with the president, because who wouldn't want to interview the president?
I think that would be great.
Just to see what his take is on different issues that aren't necessarily as big. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the president.
What would you ask him?
Oh, gosh, that's another hard one. Oh, gosh, I don't know. I think it would have to do with when I was interviewing him, because, you know, political issues, just so many different things pop up.
Tomorrow you're going to interview him.
Oh, gosh, you're killing me here. I would ask him about the situation in Nicaragua with the girls who have been taken away from because they were in school. Mm-hmm. Because I think that's such a crazy topic for people in America who are so used to, oh, well, yeah, you go to school and whether you're a boy or a girl, and it just doesn't seem like it'd be an issue in other countries, but it really is such an issue with girls wanting to get an education. And just to see his take on what he thinks about it, what he thinks we should do, would be very cool.
It makes you appreciate what we have.
Yes.
Here, a lot of things that we take for granted, and then
yes.
you see things like that and puts things into perspective. Now, if you were a journalist and I said, I'm going to send you on an international assignment, what would be your dream international assignment?
I would love to go to Rwanda. Last year, I took a global issues class, and so we did a really long unit on the genocide in Rwanda. And so we learned the story behind the man who helped thousands of people in his hotel. And just ever since then, I've had a fascination with that country. And my aunt actually had the chance to go to Rwanda, and I was so jealous. So
she didn't pack you in her suitcase?
No, I begged her to, but she wouldn't do it. But yeah, so I would love to go there and just get to talk to the people and just get to know their culture. Would be amazing.
That really would. Now, there are so many things to Emily Curtis. There are so many amazing things. What is something that most people don't know about you? Like, not even your best friends.
Not even my best friends?
Not even your best friends.
Oh,
what is something that most people don't know about you?
See, I'm just an open book. Like, there's not much people don't know about me. Gosh. See, that's a really hard question. That's a question for my friend. Like, what don't you know about Emily? I would have to say...
That'll be a game show that we'll have in the future. What do you not know about
What do you not know? Pop quiz. Emily Curtis. They probably don't know.
A question or something that your best friends wouldn't know.
That my best friends wouldn't know. Oh, gosh. That's a hard one. Oh, that is a hard one. That's one of those questions that you're like, oh, but really? Like, what don't they know?
Yeah.
Because I really am.
There always has to be something.
There's always something.
Because they're not with you 24/7.
Probably.
Close to 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Marita and like Brittany are always with me. Always. So, what don't they know? They probably don't know that Oh, that's hard. Gosh. I don't know. I'm like really thinking and I cannot come up with anything.
Well, I can tell you one thing is that you are probably the most genuine person that I could even bring onto the show, because what you see is what you get with Emily, and you are very sweet. And when you have that personality where you are just a very fun-loving, nice person, people don't always believe it, especially when you have a crown on your head. A lot of times they'll think, oh, she's smiling, and then she's rare, you know? But I can honestly say from being around Emily that she is an open book and a really nice person. So, yeah, there probably isn't too... If you ever had a question, just ask her, because I'm sure she...
I will give you an honest answer, because I really can't think of anything.
And where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Well, where I'm not entirely sure what career path I want to take, I will hopefully be graduated from college. Hopefully at that point be pretty much done with school. I want to have a family. I love kids, so definitely somewhere with a family. Career-wise, I change my mind a lot with what I want to do, and that's why I say political science or international relations, because I don't know if I want to stay in the U.S. or if I want to explore the world and just really take in all the cultures that I can. So
well, now's the time to do it. It's hard to believe that in 10 years, 2024.
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem crazy when you think about
I'll be
it?
27. That's crazy.
I know. I'll be that in a few months. So don't make it sound too old. Now that have you been in Merrimack your whole life?
Yes. Same house.
Same house.
Whole
Okay.
life.
So as a Merrimack resident, someone who's grown up here, what do you think makes Merrimack different growing up in Merrimack than anywhere else? Like, what makes growing up in Merrimack so different from anywhere else in the world?
I feel like the really great thing about Merrimack is that you can have the small town feel but still be close to everything. We have Nashua and Manchester, who are both pretty big cities near us, and then we have the lakes region near us, and the beach is not far away. So even though you still get that small town feel, you can still have so many different things you can do, which I think has been really great growing up because you get to experience so many different things.
It really is a great time. I've grown up here my whole life, and I absolutely love it. Finish this sentence. Emily Curtis is?
Emily Curtis is bubbly.
Bubbly. That I mean, if anyone knows Emily, they know.
Yep.
No, she's bubbly. So we're going to fast forward to, let's say you're around 24. You just graduate from college. You are handed your dream job on a silver platter. What's that dream job?
At this moment, see, that's another one. I would say either working in the government in some way. I don't know exactly how exactly, because that's the thing, is I'm so indecisive, because I had the chance to be a Senate page, and having the chance to watch the New Hampshire Senate in session made me really want to be in a legislator. But at the same time, do I want to be a politician? So either there or maybe a journalism side, I don't know. Somehow involved in politics, though. No matter what, with the government is where I'd love to be.
Well, we know that no matter what you choose, you're going to be extremely successful, because, I mean, if you've listened to this interview, what does this girl not do, and what has she not accomplished, and what will she not accomplish, because it's just, it's amazing. And I thought it was so important because a lot of people don't know these things. Like I've said before, a lot of times they'll see a crown and they don't know what's on the inside. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was important, and that's why I wanted to drill you with some of these questions. But it's good to think.
Yes,
and,
I know. Some of these questions just got me. I don't know why,
but someone that has been involved in journalism for quite a while, I will tell you, they don't get any easier.
Oh, I'm sure they don't.
But the fun part is if you're asking the questions,
exactly,
you get to drill other people and see what's in that brain of theirs. So it's pretty exciting. Well, on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. I'd like to thank Emily Curtis for being here, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Let's Talk.